relations rising, 18 British and French heavy warships approached the Dardanelles for a decisive attack. Lieutenant Colonel Salahuddin Adil put his troops on alert. Captain Hilmi Sanlitop, a Turkish fort commander, issued a final order before the impending battle.
No one will bother with the dead and wounded. If I die, walk over me and just pass. And if I get wounded, pay no attention. I will do the same with you. Those who will replace the wounded and the dead have been determined. Don't expect any rewards in war. This I will not and cannot promise. I knew that if I waited any longer, the damage in my fort would get worse. Taking full responsibility, I opened fire. But because I started to shoot alone, nearly all the ships turned their fire on us. The battery became smothered in smoke from all the shells that landed. The artillery sergeants could not even see the sea, let alone their targets.
Towards 1 o'clock, the battle reached its climax. The situation was telegrammed to Istanbul every 10 minutes. Some shell fragments started to fall near our lookout post. Salahuddin Adil.
But the mobile howitzers and the guns of the forts slowly began to inflict damage on the ships. At 2 p.m., the already damaged Bouvet was rocked by an explosion. The Bouvet sank in less than 2 minutes, taking down 600 French sailors.
When the Bouvet sank at 2 o'clock, it had a tremendous effect on everyone's morale because it could be seen from all around. The soldiers used this pause in the battle to clean the guns' rails and oil the cannons' breech blocks. Salahuddin Adil.
A few hours later, HMS Irresistible and HMS Ocean struck mines and sank in the same area. By 7 o'clock, it was all over. The ships had hit the mines laid only 2 weeks earlier by the Turkish mine layer Nusrat, in an area reported safe before the attack began.
This is a colossal naval disaster for the British and French. 1/3 of their ships are either sunk or out of action. The Turkish guns are nowhere near running out of ammunition. They can keep on doing this for some time. The British and French can only do it another twice. Well, they haven't got any ships left.
On March the 22nd, 4 days after the attack, the British military commander, General Sir Ian Hamilton, and the naval commander, Vice Admiral John de Robeck, decided to land an army on the Gallipoli Peninsula. The objective was to capture the shore defenses before the Navy resumed its advance. Kitchener approved the plan, and Churchill offered his support. No one in authority objected. On March 24th, German General Otto Liman von Sanders was given command of 65,000 Turkish troops to defend the Gallipoli Peninsula. Hamilton's plan called for the French to land on the Asiatic shore and the British on 5 different beaches at the southern tip of Gallipoli. The Australian and New Zealand force known as Anzacs would land further north. After securing the beaches, the British and the Anzacs would then move inland, capture the heights and seize the peninsula's shoreline. It was an intricate plan based on a strict timetable. "In my mind," said Hamilton, "the crux was to get my army ashore." He expected the Turks to run once he landed.
I don't think they really sat down and thought about it. The problem was the immediate problem of landing an army. How that army would fight, where it would go, that was tomorrow's problem.
There was a terrible lack of knowledge about the true state of the Turkish army, and above all there was a lack of understanding about what any troops will do when they're fighting for their homeland.
The landing was set for Sunday, April the 25th.
April 15th. I find it very difficult to believe that every minute brings us nearer to the guns of the enemy. Ellis Silas.
April the 23rd. My dear mother, it is most thrilling, and I am looking forward to the time when we are ashore. We land on Sunday morning at dawn and are the first troops to do so. Your son, Guy.
Gallipoli. Dear Surrett, I am leaving with my division for the front lines today. I pray to God for victory and embrace you and our child with affection. It will probably be very difficult to write from now on, but I'll try to keep you informed whenever I can. I entrust you to God and my brother for protection. Seladin Nadir.
April 23rd. Operation orders have been given out. Our troops are very calm, and they're now fully aware of what is ahead of them. They have to invade an enemy's country under the eyes of its own forts. Infantry alone are landing under the assistance of our warships. George Bollinger.
By midnight on April the 24th, the British and Australian ships were off the Gallipoli coastline. At 3 a.m., the Australian boats silently began their approach towards the shore.
Well, dear old sister, you never know what is going to happen. So if anything does happen to Oliver or I, don't let it upset any of you too much. Because, dear Una, you must remember that thousands of sisters are losing their brothers daily. Don't get gloomy over this letter, because we are not dead yet by a long way. In fact, I have never felt better in all my life, and there was never a Turk or a German born or a bullet made that could kill a Cumberland. From your loving brothers, Oliver and Joe.
At 4:30 a.m., the first Australian troops landed, surprising the 200 Turks guarding the shore.